What do you tell Sanders supporters who are reluctant to vote for you because of the Trump effect?
I would say the same thing that Bernie said actually himself, which is that the only solution to this right-wing extremism is a truly radical progressive agenda that addresses the economic misery that has lifted up the voices like Donald Trump. He doesn't stand alone. This is a whole right-wing extremist movement, not just in the United States, but in Europe as well. And where does it come from? It comes from the policies that the Clintons themselves have promoted, that the Democratic Party has led the charge on. NAFTA, next the TPP, and Wall Street deregulation, which was essentially initiated by Bill Clinton, supported by Hillary Clinton. I would point to the policies of Democrats as well as Republicans that Trump is resurrecting. Trump is not anything new. Remember, while he talks about hate and fear against immigrants, it's the Democrats who've led the charge on deportations, detentions, and night raids. It is not worse to be barring Muslims than it is to be banning Muslims. Both of these are terrible. I would encourage people to take off the blinders, to not allow yourself to have tunnel vision according to who? Who is it that is telling you that you have to focus on just Donald Trump and keep him out? It's the political pundits, it's the party operatives. That's who's saying, be good little boys and girls. Don't stand up for yourself. Take your marching orders from the Democratic Party and obey, the orders to just focus on Donald Trump. How is Bernie and all the others promoting Hillary by saying she's not Donald? That's not enough, because it's the policies of Hillary that have created Donald. Look at, Donald, yes, horrific racism and hate mongering. But where did mass incarceration come from? From the omnibus crime bill passed by the Democrats, which opened the floodgates to mass incarceration. It's taken two to tango here. That's the Democrats and Republicans who've been in a race to the bottom. As Frederick Douglass said famously, power concedes nothing without a demand. It never has and it never will. That demand will not be made by a lesser evil political party. We have to stand up and stand firm and stand our ground and stand together and build a political party that allows us to actually put our feet down and build. What happens in the Democrats, every 4 years you get a progressive face who will distract people, bring them back into the Democratic Party, and then it gets destroyed. Whether it was Bernie Sanders or Dennis Kucinich or Howard Dean, for that matter, who got taken down by that concocted PR smear campaign, the Dean Scream, or Jesse Jackson, who was also taken down. The Democrats have a kill switch for progressive campaigns. They use it every time. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me 100 times, shame on me. Don't be fooled again. We need to stand up and put our feet down. Remember what happened under Richard Nixon, one of the most regressive, oppressive presidents ever. We got the Clean Air Act, the Clean Water Act. We brought the troops home from Vietnam. We forced the Supreme Court to enact women's right to choose. We, the people, need to lead the way. We need to reject this propaganda of powerlessness. As Alice Walker says, the biggest way people give up power is by not knowing we have it to start with. In this election, there are 43 million young people trapped into predatory student loan debt. 43 million alone is enough to win this election in a three-way race, just by getting the word out to young people that they can come out and take over this race and vote for the campaign that will fight to bail out the students like we bailed out the crooks on Wall Street. We can do that. We need to simply reject this propaganda of powerlessness, reject the lesser evil, fight for the greater good like our lives depend on it, because they do.
Yeah.